The call will.
Good afternoon, Maricar.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Maricar, can you tell me about yourself?
Okay, ma'am. I'm Maricar Dolorito, ma'am. 26 years old. I have 3 kids. I'm a single mother.
Okay, I have a few questions for you to answer, so let's start.
Okay, ma'am.
Why do you want to work as a maid?
I want to work as a maid for my children and for my father, ma'am.
Why you choose Malaysia when there is a lot of other country?
Because it's not too far from Philippines,
How are you qualified for this job?
ma'am.
How are you qualified for this job?
I can do all the employers want. I will do my best to serve them.
May I know what your educational level is?
I'm high school graduate, ma'am.
What was your recent working experience?
Waitress and cashier.
Have you worked abroad before?
No, ma'am.
Again?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have experience of taking care of babies?
Yes, ma'am.
Whose babies are you taking care before?
My kids, ma'am.
Again?
My kids.
Okay, so how about elderly people?
Yes, ma'am.
Whose elderly do you take care before?
My grandfather, ma'am.
Do you have any other special skills?
Yes, ma'am.
Like?
Cooking, sewing, ironing.
Okay, are you willing to learn new skills?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you willing to work with a family where the mother-in-law or any relatives stay together?
Yes, ma'am.
Currently, are you still working now?
No, ma'am.
Do you know how to cook?
Yes, ma'am.
What sort of food can you cook?
Filipino dishes, ma'am.
Are you aware that you will have to do washing, cleaning, ironing, and cooking?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, from all the house chores that I have mentioned to you, which do you like most?
Sorry, ma'am.
From all the house chores that I have mentioned to you, like washing, cleaning, ironing, and cooking, which do you like most?
Cooking and cleaning, ma'am.
If ever you were selected to work in Malaysia, who will take care of your children?
My aunties.
Okay, you are not allowed to use handphone during working hours.
Yes, ma'am.
You are only allowed to use handphone after you finish all the works and when going to bed.
Yes, ma'am.
You are strictly needed to surrender the handphone to your employer in the morning and your employer will return back to you once you're going to bed.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, you are allowed to bring smartphone. Are you agreed for the terms and conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you agreed to the rules and regulation for the handphone?
Yes, ma'am.
How many years is the contract as you agreed and understands?
2 years, ma'am.
Can you describe for me your attitude?
Ma'am, for me, work is work.
Okay, how can you assure to us that you will work hard in Malaysia?
100%, ma'am, I will do all my best to work for my employer.
Can you promise not to use the house telephone without the permission of your employer?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you promise not to put on makeup but to dress properly while work?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you promise not to invite friends and relatives without the consent of your employer?
Yes,
Can you promise not to ask for advance salary from your employer under any circumstances?
yes, ma'am.
Do you really understand of the rules and regulation of the agency?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you pay any placement fee for you to come to Malaysia to work as a maid?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any history of sickness, breast cancer, or any other illness?
No, ma'am.
Do you suffer from any skin diseases, allergies, or physical defect?
Allergies, ma'am.
Okay, allergies in?
In paracetamol, biogesic, and bioflu.
Okay, allergies in biogesic and paracetamol, bioflu. Okay. Have you suffered from any serious illness?
No, ma'am.
Do you smoke?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you smoke until now?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you smoke
Sometimes.
until now sometimes? Okay. So, are you agreed not to smoke here in Malaysia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you undergone any operation before?
No, ma'am.
Are you medically fit or are you fit to work?
Speak to work, ma'am.
Are you in any medication right now?
No, ma'am.
Are you allergic with any food?
No, ma'am.
Are you prepared to work for the employer of different races?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you prepared to eat the type of food taken or given by your employer?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid alone in the house?
No, ma'am.
Are you afraid of dogs or other pets?
No, ma'am.
Can you promise to work according to instruction from your employer?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any family members working in Malaysia?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we have finished our question section. Let's proceed for case study. I have a case study for you and I want you to respond truthfully. Upon arrival in Malaysia, example, one of your family members passed away. You are here in Malaysia for about 6 months. What will you do?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Okay, one of your family members passed away. You are working here in Malaysia for about 6 months. Okay, what will you do?
If my employer is allow me to go to the Philippines for a week, I will go to the Philippines and back to my employer
So if
if they allow me.
okay, if in case the employer will not allow you,
I will stay in Malaysia.
so what help would you give to your family members who passed away?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
What help would you give to your family members who passed away?
I will help them, ma'am. My salary, 1/4 of my salary, I will give to them.
Okay.
That's the only uh, I can do if my employer not allowed me to go to the Philippines.
Okay, if in case your employer is watching you right now, what do you want to tell them?
Um, if they hire me, I will do all my best to work to them.
Okay, so any other you want to tell to your employer why they need to hire you?
Um, 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 I will uh, I will promise them, ma'am, that I will do all my best, all the rules. I will obey them. Be patient. All yes, ma'am. That's it.
Okay, tell us about yourself again.
I'm Maricar Dolorito, 26 years old. I have 3 kids. I am single mother.
Okay, and why do you want to work in Malaysia as domestic helper?
I want to work uh, in Malaysia as domestic helper because of my kids and for my father.
Okay, thank you very much, Maricar. We will update to your agency if there is any selection made by the employer.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.